Hello guys, most welcome to the UPSC welfare. Today in this video tutorial, of course, we will discuss all the organic chemistry questions that has been already asked by UPSC from 95 to 2018. So let's have especially the questions. Which of the following the polymer is widely used for making the bulletproof material? What can be, of course, that would be a polycarbonate. This can be, of course, D is going to be the correct. Why it is shown that because has been the polycarbonate or polymer widely used in the making bulletproof material. And bulletproof glass is made by layering, of course, as the polycarbonate material between the pieces of ordinary glass. In the process, of course, in the process called lamination, of course. So a bullet fired where is pierce the outside layer of the glass, but the layered polycarbonate in the glass, the material is able to absorb the bullet energy. So stop it, definitely. So polycarbonate panels are used for covering, advertising the poster and the construction of the office. Also there is utilization of polycarbonate, means the construction of the office building, and also for soundproofings, of course, for building. And polycarbonate is also used for the making of the bulletproof jacket also. So this is a polycarbonate, and this can be, of course. Next, the questions that offending substance in the liquor tragedy leading to blindness, which can be, of course, methyl alcohol. That will be methanol here, D. Why it shows that because methyl alcohol is very dangerous, as we know that. Because it may be fatal and cause the blindness if not swallowed, of course. If swallowed, harmful, yes, if inhaled and observed, yes, if inhaled or observed through skin, it can be the mad non-poison. It cannot be mad non-poisonous. Some other the harmful effects result into irritation of skin, eyes, and yes, respiratory tract. So it can affect the central nervous system and the liver also. Now, next the question: characteristic of odor of the garlic due to this will be acetic, sulfur compound, chlorine compound, fluorine compound, which can be, of course. Which one is going to be a? That will be especially sulfur, of course, sulfur compound. Why it is so? Because as we know, yes, allicin is the only oily and yellow liquid which the gives, especially garlic, its characteristic odor, which is due to, of course, ester group. It also has a range of the medical property. So that's why especially it will be a sulfur compound. Now, 60 number, which one of the following is the active component of oil of the cloves? And this can be, yes, eugenol. Why to show that? Because oil of cloves, also called, yes, the clove oil. Now it is the essential oil, as we know. Obtained from the clove plants, it is natural, yes, analgesic and antiseptic used primarily in the dentistry for its main ingredient, eugenol. So the oil produced by the cloves that can be used in the many, of course, the thing that forms the flower in the medicines too. They are for bronchiolitis, and this can be bronchitis, of course, and the common cold, cough, fever, sore throat, and attending to the infection, of course. Now, 61 question number, say which of the following was used as chemical weapons in the First World War? Of course, it was used by the Germany, of course, in 1970. So, in the First World War, so mustard gas. Why it shows? Because as been does, most effective the gas of the First World War was mustard gas, as yes, Bezicenth. Yes, which has introduced by the Germany in 1970. Mustard gas is not of course, particularly affecting the killing agent, but also yes, skin itself. Victims got blistered, the eyes became very sore and they began to vomit mustard gas that caused internal and external bleeding and attacked the yes, bronchial tubes. So that's why especially mustard gas. This is very easy questions if you have, of course, gone through the First World War. Now, 62 numbers. Which one of the following has the highest fuel value? So there should be no doubt, and this is hydrogen. Why it is so? Because as we know, fuel value can be expressed in the term of the calorific bulk, of course, of the fuel. So calorific bulk of the fuel is almost of the heat produced by the burning with 1 kg of the fuel. So hydrogen has the highest. Why it is so? Because caloric is the calorific value of the 1,41,790 yes kilojoules per kg. So thus the highest fuel of the especially this will be the second one is your glycerin. I mean second is your of course that will be gasoline, and the third one is natural gas, and the fourth one is going to be of course the charcoal. This will be. Now next to the questions, see 62 numbers. Which has the following already we have discussed. 63. Which one of the following is used as antifreeze for automobile engine? It happens in the especially cold areas. So the Russia, of course, the can be the Russia is the totally cold area. So here which can be yes, that is the ethylene glycol, of course, and that is antifreezing agent. There should be no doubt. So why it is so? Because ethylene glycol, the solution, are yes marketed as permanent antifreeze agent. Is used as an antifreeze agent for the automobile engine in a cold country, of course. There, where the temperature is below the 0 degree, of course, centigrade. Now, 64. A certain has been given phenol is used as the household germicide. There should be no doubt, of course, that we have the use phenol is the phenol derivative. Is the phenol is an effective germicide. So both are is going to be correct on the here. So 64 is going to be a. But see there, if we see that assertion, that can be reason good explanation of the assertion here. That the phenol is of course phenol is phenol derivative, and the phenol is an effective germicide. So that can be of course a good explanation of there. So 64 is going to be A definitely. Both are correct, and yes, R is a reason is a correct the expression option that. So 64 is going to be A. Why it is so? Once again, antiseptic or antimicrobial. There should be no doubt. Yes, substances that applied to the living tissue and the skin to reduce possibility of infections. Yes, species and putrefacients. Now the phenol being the phenol derivative is possess effective germicide. Yes, germicidal. The property that because the phenol is yes germicidal in a strong solution. Used in from the powder yes as an antiseptic, baby powder. It has also pan-killing, of course, effect as a well example of the trichlorophenol. Of course, we have the using as a painkiller. So A is going to be the correct here. Now 65 number, they consider the following the statement. What the acetylene? Acetylene, of course, it is widely used in especially the welding industry. That is absolutely correct. It is raw the material for preparing the plastic. No, that is not important, but it is easily obtained by the mixing silicon carbide and the water of this statement. So C. Which one is going to be the correct here? It's going to be especially 1 and 2. That's can be because not a much especially preparing for the plastics, but yes, it is really the raw material for the preparing the plastics, but not the mostly utilized. Mostly we use here is welding industry. So 1 and 2 is a correct here. So which one is going to be A? Once again, why A will be correct of the 65? Because as we know, welding refer to the process of the joining two or more metal together. Approximately 20% of the acetylene is consumed before oxyacetylene gas welding and cutting due to high temperature of flame. The combustion of acetylene with oxygen produce the flame of our 60 and the 3600K to of course I can say that 3300 centigrade, or especially the in fact we be talking about so that in 6000 and the faculty the thousand that can be, and oxy especially and the oxyacetylene is the hottest burning common fuel gases, as we know. So oxyacetylene welding was very popular welding the process in the previous decade. So however, its development and advantage of arc-based welding process have made oxy fuel welding nearly extinct, but this is high temperature of the flame. High temperature of the flames of the maximum the head of the metal, the pieces took the joint, melt hands at the joint together when solidified on cooling. So the following is the chemical reactions, and that's as with the process. 2C2H2 plus 5O2, that's giving 4CO2 plus 2H2O. Polymerization of the acetylene with Ziegler's not a catalyst, of course, produces acetylene film. Polyacetylene at the chain of the CH center with alternating the single and double bond was one of the first discovered organic, especially semiconductors, and the chemical equation representing, of course, the polymerization of the acetylene that can be occurs, and NC as equal the C as we know C as that is going to be Ziegler's not a catalyst, and that is going to be the Gibson C as equal C as occurs. So this is especially the chemical, of course, and the reactions from that, and so that's why we am using acetylene as for the welding, of course. Now 66, the formic acid is stronger than acetic acid, of course, because in the activator in the active, of course, that is really stronger than. So the one is correct. The formic acid is an organic acid, yes, organic acid definitely, but it's reactive. So not the correct explanation. If here it is going to be given that active ACTI, of course, B E, then as we know that, and this can be the correct explanation, but it's not the given here. So that contains, of course, so definitely I'm the 66 here. What will be the answer of the 66? So definitely B will be answer. B means both are correct, but reason is not the correct the explanation of the assertions. Why it serves the because has been that the form this is the stronger than acetic acid due to its the chemical composition, definitely, and the formic acid is another organic acid as well as active acid in the organic acid. Now very easy question has been given here. Now the cracking, what will be that? The cracking means, of course, the high carbon bond, so that will be a petroleum. So the smelting is going to be especially cover the hydrogenization. What will be that is of course edible fat, and vulcanization, that is going to the rubber with the helping of the with the adding of the sulfur, of course, we use. So which one is going to be D is going to 1. So D is going to be 1 means, and that is going to be wrong, that is going to be wrong. A and D will be wrong. Now here D is going to be D is going to be the 1, sorry, I and C will be wrong. D is going to be 1, and hydrogenization, edible fats, and that will be the, so C is going to be a 4. C is going to be 4. C is going to be 4. Both are there. Now smelting is going to be the copper. So Smelting is the copper, means B is going to 3, B is going to 3, B is going to be 3. That would be correct answer. Once again, let you especially let me give the explanation, the detail about this, why it will be used, because as we know, cracking is the process whereby the complexion of the organic molecule, such as the kerosene, heavy carbon, of course the heavy hydrocarbons, are especially broken down into the simpler the molecules, such as light hydrocarbons, the bias, and the breaking, often the carbon-carbon bond. Now, smelting as one does, is the form of the extractive metallurgy. Of course, metallurgy. Its main use is to the producer of the metal, the from its ore. So, as we know, I am saying this: the process the oxide ore is reduced to the free the metal by the using the reducing agent like the coke or charcoal. That can be. And copper as been that copper is obtained from its oxide by this method is in free state. Hydrogenization, let's say, is a reaction, of course, is the reduction reaction which result in an addition of the hydrogen, usually of course as 2. If an organic the compound is hydrogenated, it becomes the more saturated hydrogenation, resulting in the conversion of the liquid vegetable into the soil, and the two soil edible fats, and this can be vulcanization. Let's have vulcanization is the chemical process for the converting rubber into more durable, of course, durable materials, and by the addition of sulfur. Sulfur modify the rubber by the forming, of course, cross-link bonds between the individual polymer cans and vulcanize the material as less sticky, and yes, that has the superior mechanical properties. So that's why especially. Now 68, it's a very of course nice question that has been taken from the matriculation chapter. Of course, matriculation syllabus from the especially organic chemistry. There's of course questions varies that's increasing order of molecule the weight of the hydrocarbon. So definitely which one is going to be methane, ethane, propane, and butane? That will be of course is going to be the correct answer here. 68. Now sorry, let's have the another slide. 69. 69 involves which one of the following? Which one of the following is the purpose of adding the sodium sulfate and the sodium silicate to detergent in? Yes, washing powder is. So to keep the washing the powder dry, definitely to the maintain alkalinity of the powder, both of the can be of course especially is going to be to keep the washing powder the dry. So here I can say that the sodium silicate is the playing the role of that, but 69 as we know is going to be both are correct. But let you difference once again that in 69 especially thus addition of the silicate to synthetic detergent has of course the proves the very beneficial silicate soften water by the the formation of the participant that can be easily rinsed away. Soluble silicate that contribute to detergent as the cleaning aid process aid is crossing inhibitor, and cleaning adds soluble silicate that provide alkalinity of course and promote soil suspension of course. And the sodium sulfate, now see, sodium sulfate is the simply filter in the detergent powder and much of the same way as the filter used in the many medical tablet. Of course it doesn't play the active role in the sets, so that's why of course the sodium sulfate of course we have the using also in the pharmaceutical company for the tablet that keeps dry state. That's why it's dry state. So second is going to maintain the alkalinity the power, so it going to the especially the function of the sodium silicate and keeping the dry, the washing the powders, and that is going to of course we will go for the sodium sulfate. This will be a sodium sulfate. Sodium sulfate, and that is going to be that isn't as given the dry powder of course, so it's going to be a C now. 17. C. CNG. CNG is, of course, what is the CNG? CNG is going to be compressed natural gases and the coal gas. Let's have these. And as when that's LPG stand for liquid petroleum gases. So liquefy the petroleum gas. So and the water gas. The water gas is the very which one is going to be water gas? Hydrogen and monocarbon. So monocarbon dioxide. So D is going to be a 1. So which one is going to be? D is going to 1 means definitely it's gone, and D also gone. Now LPG, especially the butane and the propane, there should be no doubt. So C is going to be 2. So C is going to be 2 means C is going to be 2. This one gone. C is going to be 2. So B will be the correct answer. And the coal gas, of course, there will be the carbon monoxide, hydrogen, the methane, of course. These all are going to show. A is going to be definitely A is going to be a CNG. C. CNG is going to be a CNG is going to be a LPG is going to be a butane and propane, and CNG is going to be a methane and especially. So the B is going to be a 4. Coal gas is going to be hydrogen, methane, and carbon monoxide. So it's going to be a B. 70. Once again I repeat. Yes, 70. Compressed natural gas. That's stand in the abbreviate CNG. Yes, it's the compressing natural gas, which is composed of the methane, especially CH4. Also contains a small amount of the ethane. Coal gas typically has been in the contains the hydrogen, methane, and carbon monoxide. LPG, that is, yes, abbreviate in the short form, the liquefied the petroleum gas. The major constituency of the LPG is propane and butane. Yes, the propane and butane, the water gases, the synthesis of the gas, the containing carbon monoxide and the hydrogen that can be. But important, of course, especially from this, the concept is repeated 2 to 3 times. So that's why, of course, read carefully on that. Now, 71 questions. Once again, 71 the questions will come from, so especially LNG. LNG is liquefied natural gas. That refers to the methane gas. That is, of course, the compressed natural gas. That can be. So, liquefied natural gas is liquefied under the extremely cold temperature and the high pressures to the facilitate the storage, transportation in the specially designed the vessels. 71. So it's going to be especially, of course, absolutely correct. The second, the first is liquefied natural gases. Liquefied natural gas in terminal in the India is built in the Hassan. No, that was in one where especially Dahej. So in India. So it was in first Dahej, DASEJ, Dahej, of course. So now 2 is eliminated here, so this one gone, of course, and this one gone, and the 3 is the natural gas, especially liquid, are the separated forms on the LPG. These include the ethane, the propane, butane, and the natural gasoline, of course. So 1 and 3 is going to be the correction. B will be here the correct answer. 71 is going to be B. Why it is so? Because once again I would like to repeat that liquefied natural gas, or of course LNG, that is in abbreviated forms, is natural gas primordially, of course, the predominantly the methane, as we know, CH4, that's kind of in the abbreviated letters in the chemical form. So data has been converted temporarily to the liquid form. Therefore, in the case of the storage or the transport, liquefaction, the process involves the removal of the certain component as a dust, acid gases, helium, water, heavy hydrocarbons, the which could cause difficulty downstream. The natural gas is then considered into the liquid maximum the transport. The pressure set at the round, especially 25 kg per 3.3 psi by especially the cooling to it is approximately 162 Celsius to especially minus 160 F. And one thing that's in the Dahej, especially in the India, the beginning is the first import of a natural gas. So natural gas liquid, the recovery, of course, NGL, natural gas, liquid natural gas is involved in the refrigerated gas plant. See, turbo, expander, just butanizer, dropanizer, and jetting. The plants NGL can be separated in the using debutanizer and yes, dropanizer into propane, ethane, especially naphtha, etc. This can be occurs. See, this is of course this is the questions. See, has been asked in 2004. Once again, it was repeated. Of course, the form is especially especially liquefied the LNG. It was especially once again repeated in the 2005, and C once again the one questions are coming from the once again 2005 that C the main constraints of liquefy the petroleum gas is methane. Definitely we have already done, but main component is of course, and there is also another component also. So the constraints of liquefied the petroleum gas is, so the one is going to be especially around the second one, especially the methane that can be used directly for the burning in the home and the factories, the way it can be is supplied through pipelines. So R is going to be absolutely correct. So D will be have the correct answer. Which one is going to be? D. 72. What is 2? The because and the variety of the species, the alpha is the broad and the solid include the mixtures that are primarily the propane and butane. As when the common the mix include propane is the 60%, because I'm talking here, that is your LPG, of course liquefied the petroleum gas that we have been using in a home for cooking, as we know. So here one thing has been very important to notify that propane and butane, as been the common the mixture include the propane 60%, butane 40%, depending on the season. Also in the winter more propane, in a summer more butane. Yes, propylene and especially and butylene are usually the present in the small the concentration of powerful water, and ethanol, especially ethanol is the added so that the leak can be detected. Why? There can be the question, of course, that why ethane we have the using, especially why ethanol is going to be used in LPG gases, because of course this addition of the ethanol that can of course that's leak can be detected by easily, of course, in the help of methane. Now the methane is the chemical compound within the chemical formula CH4 compared to the other hydrocarbon fuels on the burning. As we know, methane produces less carbon dioxide for its unit of the heat release. In many cities, methane is piped, of course, into the forms of full domestic heating and the cooking purpose. So the methane in the form of compressed natural gas, and the CNG is used as the biofuel, as we know. And the methane is used also in industrial the chemical process for production of the hydrogen, methanol, acetic acid, is anhydride as is the use as the fuel in the factory. Now, so now totally the conception has been cleared. I hope. Now 72 number, let's have. Sorry, I'm the 72 is going to be a D. Now 73 is easy questions. So which one is going to be the use is cleaning chemicals, use the dry cleaning chemical. So except sodium carbonate, all are is going to be, so 1, 2 and 4, 1, 2, 4, where is that? C will be a correct. 73. Of course, because the dry cleaning is the cleaning the process for clothing and textile, involves the use of the chemical solvent other than the water. The solvent used in the typically trichloroethane, ethylene, and the carbon tetrachloride and trichloroethane is used. Historical the benzene is other common agent used for this the purpose also. Now this is very important, the questions, my dear. This is the coming regarding the RDX. Yes, which one the following is the another name of the RDX? So definitely we can say there are the various kind of the RDX in the short form NAM, that is the cyclonite. One, what is the RDX? Let's have firstly intro. RDX is of course initialism for the research department. Explosive is an explosive nitroamine widely used in the military, as we know that, and industrial application also. So it is also known as commonly cyclonite. Remember, the chemical name is cyclotrimethylene trinitraamine. So the one is your cyclonite, second is your especially second name is that is nitroamine, and the third one is the chemical name is that's a cyclotrimethylene trinitraamine. Now next the questions here, see. Yes, bisphenol ABP, what is that? Of course, it is the chemical used for the development of the food packaging. The test for testing the used interaction to improve the performance of ethylene. No, that is going to be the wrong. This is also going to be the wrong. So the only C is going to be the correct answer. Yes, just the because of bisphenol bisphenol, that is going to be in a short form BPA. That is in short form BPA. As we know, as far as I'm concerned, the bisphenol A, the commonly of course abbreviated as a BPA, is an organic compound with two phenol function groups. Bisphenol A is used primarily to make the plastic which is used in the making food packaging as the material. It is also key monomer in production of epoxy and used to make also polycarbonate. Is the plastic polycarbonate, the plastic which is clear and nearly shelter-proof, used to the maximum variety of the common product. Yes, including baby water bottle and the sports equipment, medical, dental devices, dental filling also as a composite, of course, and especially sealant, that can be eyeglasses, that can be also lens, CD, DVD, household, and the electronics. There are the various kind of the especially applications, of course, of bisphenol. Now, next the question: the mixture of which one of the following the pair of the glass is causes occurrence of most of the explosion is mine. So which can be oxygen and acetylene, that can be of course is going to be the correct here, B. Because it is the clearly occurrence the most of the explosion in a mine. Yes, pair of the gases is the causes. So oxygen and acetylene, of course acetylene as especially acetylene also we have been using especially acetylene glycol, of course we have the using as for welding also, we have already talked, and here's also for explosion of the mine. So 76, and definitely because acetylene, the molecule is the composed of the two carbon and two hydrogen atom, as we know. So two carbon atom are held together by what is known as a triple carbon bond, definitely. So how the triple carbon bond is enable the making acetylene gas and very sensitive to the condition such as access pressure, access temperature, static electricity, and the mechanical shock. The possibility of such condition are high energy undermined. So thus oxidation of the acetylene by mixing result into very violent and explosive reactions. Now next questions, 2-3 question has been remained now, so less attempts. Which one of the following is used as in the explosive? So what will be mercury oxide, graphite? No, that will be nitroglycerin. Why it is short? Because as we know that nitroglycerin that can be in the short form also called NZ. As the glycerin, of course, trinitroglycerin, 1 to 3, trinitroglyceropropane, and glyceryl trinitrate is a heavy, colorless, oily, explosive liquid, as we know, is obtained by the nitrating glycerol. So Alfred Nobel discovered that is with mixing glycerins with di2 McFeus Earth would turn the liquid into paste and the coldest from dynamite to show. Advantage of the dynamite has been that and could be the cylinder shaft for insertion into drilling holes used for mining. So, which one is going to be D? Next, consider the following this statement. The fluorochlorocarbon, of course. Fluorochlorocarbons, those antiplatinum substances are used in production of the plastic foam, of course, in the production of tubeless tire. No, that is absolutely wrong. And so 2 is going to be wrong. So what would be answer? This one and this one. The cleaning the certain electronic components, of course, and there is a utilization of the and the chlorofluorocarbons and the pressurizing agent in the action of the cancer. This can be so 3, 2, 3, and sorry, I'm the 1 and 3 and 4. 1, 3, 4. So C will be the correct answer. Once again, 78. Of course, the chlorofluorocarbons used in the production of the plastic foam, cleaning electronic component, and also pressurizing agent in aerosol cans. 79 numbers. And this is the last question of this slide. Then next the question from 2013 to 18. We will of course discuss in next video tutorial of organic chemistry questions, which has been asked by of course UPSC in the prelims examination. So see, with reference to usefulness of the product of the sugar industry, which of the following the statement is going to be gases? Bagases that can be used in biomass, the fuel for generation of the generation of energy. So that is absolutely correct. Molecules that can be used one of the feedstock for the production of the synthesis of the chemical fertilizer. This cannot be. Molecules that can be used in the ethanol the production. This can be of course. So 1, 3 is going to be the correction. C will be here answer. What it shows that because it's in bagages, they often use the primary fuel source as it produces sufficient heat energy. So there is no doubt that bagases is the producing energy. Yes, molecules that can be used for the production of ethanol. But ethanol is the produced by the age-old technique of fermentation of cereals, grams, and molasses, and order the material to be the highest target content. But molasses is an expensive and readily available raw material. So molasses can't be used as a synthetic fertilizer as the molasses, as we know. Contain the calcium, magnesium, and iron, where the synthetic fertilizer, as we know that. Yes, are the comprised of the NPK. What is the NPK? Stand for nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So this is all about in this video tutorial, my dears. Have a great time. Thank you very much for the watching and giving you the valuable time. Of course, I hope that it will be really beneficial for you the preparation of the UPSC. And it's really my humble request that in any way my video is going to benefit to you, then please like and subscribe and share also to my channel, because really your sharing and the liking, yes, and the subscribing to my channel, that will really inspire and motivate to me to make more and more videos. So thank you very much for your giving the valuable time for watching with my video. Thank you very much.